Hello and welcome to another show and episode of What's Going On with Armala Hassan. And today's guest is very, very, very lively. And there are few international players who had a very successful careers as a player and followed by the brilliant career in their otherwise after their career in as a player. What we are supposed to talk about today is a person who is the best commentator and the most lovable commentator in Pakistan, and most of all, the most liveliest person we have ever met. We have with us Danny Morison. Thank you so much, Danny. How are you?
Miss Hassan, lovely to see you. Inshallah.
Inshallah, good to see you too. How have you been, and how's your life in quarantine going?
I've got to say my life in quarantine's going okay. It's lovely to be back home, and I think it's, of course, like most other parents, fathers, mothers, you want to have your children around, even if they're adults now, or likely if you're a bit older and you've got grandchildren. If you can be all in lockdown, more the merrier, really.
Yeah. So where are you, and what's the time there? We want to know.
Oh, okay. I live north of Brisbane, so I'm up the Sunshine Coast. So I'm about 120 kilometres from Brisbane Central, and the time is just after 8 p.m. local time.
Okay, so you are the most lovable commentators we ever had in Pakistan. You are very much gel into our people. So tell us your few experiences about your visit to Pakistan, and you have worked here. How was the experience with Pakistani people and your colleagues?
Look, I think it's incredibly unique because, as we're all aware, there was the isolation of a decade, 10 years. And so when you think about all of that, and for Pakistan, sports-loving fans, and particularly the game of cricket, have been starved of it. So really, Amalia, I've loved coming back. I've come back over the last few years doing different projects. Certainly we did Cricket Superstar, which was, again, a talent hunt show. Grant Elliott and I popped back in late 2017 to do a day and a night there with the Lahore Qalandars, again at a final of an under-23 gig. And then, the PSL in season 5 we've just had. We couldn't quite finish it, but at least it was all based back in Pakistan. So very exciting, and loved it a lot, and loved the people who embrace it well.
So which city do you like the most in Pakistan? And the reason we want to know.
The bias. Well, I mean, when you look at it, each offers something a bit different. I mean, I was very spoiled to go. I did the Rawalpindi test matches with Sri Lanka late last year, came back and did that test match with Bangladesh as well, and then got to visit the Prime Minister, who, of course, I played cricket against, the great Imran Khan. So it was nice seeing him there. Exactly, there you go. I was scaring them all with my horrific haircut. What a haircut, eh? What a barber. So Richie Richardson and I, the Ball brothers, turned up and scared Imran. And it was the first time, of course, I'd seen Imran Khan since the 92 World Cup. Such different lives and miles apart. So, and then you go to Karachi, and I love the seafood, and there's, different people there outside of cricket. And Lahore's beautiful and clean and tidy in terms of very leafy. And you look at those cities, particularly like Pindi, very much designed by, I think, a French town planner too, who had a lot to do, I think, up there in Chandigarh. And so when I look at that, and then I went to Multan. I'd never been to Multan before. So very exciting. And that was great because, of course, they haven't seen a lot of cricket there, have they, for over 10 years? So, it was superb. It was beautiful to visit that part of the world.
Yeah, and Lahore is famous for its food. So did you try the Lahori food here in Pakistan?
Oh, always. And, of course, knowing Waqar Yunus and working on Waqar and Buzzard Khan and all those connections of guys that, spend a lot of time there, have grown up there, and, invite us for different meals and different parts. Wasim Akram invited me there to some friends' place as well. And we went out to different restaurants, and, it's I love the way you procure, lamb or mutton long
Wow.
term in terms of whether it's a biryani type meal or a
Yeah.
soaked stew type dish. Beautiful. And look, I'm a big fan of seafood,
Yeah.
and you do that very well. Whether it's in Karachi or Lahore, been to some
Yeah.
beautiful restaurants. Been very spoiled.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Let's talk about your cricketing career. We have seen very heated moments in your cricket career, but the commentator diary is totally different. It's from another planet. What's the reason? And you are the most liveliest commentator we have seen, because when it comes to your cricketing career, you are quite an aggressive player.
Well, I think when you look at fast bowling, and
Yeah.
you hear other heroes, the great
Yeah.
Imran Khan, or Dennis Lilly of Australia, or Richard Hadley. I had the fortune of playing alongside the great two W's, Wasim Waka. Mentioning that by nature, fast
Yeah.
bowling is an aggressive act. You're running in and you're javelin hurling a cricket ball.
Yeah.
If you can 80, 90. Some guys, Shoaib Akhtar and co, Waka, hurling it at 100 miles an hour. So it's very full on and an aggressive act by nature. So, yes, look, you got excited and fired up, and the blood and the adrenaline was pumping, and sometimes it spills
Yeah.
over in the heat of the moment, or, finger pointing, and,
Yeah.
I can't swear obviously in these interviews, but guys would, batsmen would have a go at you and bowlers
Yeah.
and vice versa. And it was all on. And I just think, when you look at it, isn't it? It's like two tribes, locking
Yeah.
horns, a couple of big
Yeah.
bulls having a go. But you're right. And then you come to finishing playing. And it's fascinating, really, too, because, we got run over a lot, us dear little Kiwis from down the bottom of the planet, and, hiding out with Lord of the Rings and everything. And then, the two W's and Imran used to run us over for fun. So when
Yeah.
I look at that side of my life, to
Yeah.
then realize, 20 years later, here we all were working together, almost like living as extended family, like brothers,
Yeah.
coming a lot to Pakistan, UAE, vice versa, when Waka's been down in Australia or New Zealand and doing some
Yeah.
broadcasting work.
Hmm.
You would hang out and share stories, and they'd take you to dinner. And that's what I think I love about the subcontinent. And I think you do it so much better
Yeah.
than we do in the West in terms of inviting and taking us out for dinners.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think your culture's beautiful like that in terms of
Yeah.
actually looking after us to come. And I know
Yeah.
Pakistani, Indian, Sri Lankan, Bangladeshi people, they're really appreciative of us Westerners coming and
Yeah.
being there to work and in that environment, which is obviously very different. There's so many more people than we're used
Yeah.
to. And I think the food, I think that's the beautiful common bond, is that we all have to eat, don't we, to survive. And I just think the way you do your food, different styles, as you say, Bangladesh, Pakistani, whatever, Sri Lankan, and
Yeah.
there's those subtle variances, and I think that's beautiful. So when we come to your part of the world, we get looked after beautifully, and I think that's the lovely thing, that we as Westerners love coming back, and
Yeah.
that's why, in terms of commentating, having fun with it is so different from playing. I mean, people going, "You're fun," and how much do you miss
Yeah.
your playing days? I don't really, when I think, because it was such a long time ago, and now, I've been doing more of this work than I did
Hmm.
playing. I've been doing this for
Hmm.
20 years. I did the playing for 10 years internationally because I was lucky enough to
Hmm.
last 10 years. But, this can be so much more theatrical and fun, and
Yeah.
embracing fans, because, you can get out around the boundary and, like I did, a little bit in Dubai is more relaxed. You can get up
Yeah.
to be miming and singing and dancing with cheerleaders,
Dancing and
and
all
having
that. Yeah.
fun,
Yeah.
all that stuff you can do. Whereas, of course, you can't do that while you're playing. Everyone's a bit more serious and focused, and,
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
playing
Yeah.
for your country. Whereas T20, I think T20's
Yeah.
allowed that embracing fun side of things to be,
Okay.
expressed and let loose, if you like.
Exactly. Exactly. So we are in conversation with Danny Morison, and we have few questions from your fans, Danny. It's Furkan Bhatti. Hi, Danny. FP here. I hope you're well. How are your days going at home nowadays? He's asking you about your time. How are you spending your time?
Mr. Barty, lovely to hear from you. Yeah, look, I think I like everyone else. It's about trying to stay home as much as possible. And then, I've always been a good shopper for the family, so I don't mind going down to the grocery store and getting the necessities for the household. And so, a little bit of that with my son occasionally, or my wife and I have nipped down there to the supermarket and, just getting the necessaries and the bits of food from other grocery stores. So, look, it's been lovely for me, and letting into people in Pakistan on your show here, is that I've really enjoyed stopping, because as cricket fans will be aware, the majority of my broadcast work is T20. Whether it's when you look at it, let's go to the beginning of the year, and a lot of the times I've gone to Bangladesh, come to Pakistan, then gone to India with the IPL, a little bit of a break in the middle of the year, and then you've got the Caribbean Premier League over in the West Indies, and then possibly back to the UAE, where there's been Pakistan versus Sri Lanka or New Zealand or whatever, with a bilateral series. And then the last few years we've had this T10 in Abu Dhabi or Sharjah. So, it's been quite relentless but lovely. And I look completely like you, passionate about what I do and love my broadcast work. But I'd have to say this has been lovely, just to go, just to hop off the merry-go-round and take a break.
Oh.
It's been lovely.
Okay, perfect. We have a few more questions and comments for you, Danny. Bilal Tariq, players giving different challenges on social media these quarantine days. And where's your raised eyebrow challenge, Danny?
Because the screen, and it's smaller. It's not a laptop. And everyone goes, "Oh, Danny, you look such an old man with glasses." Well, these are called reading glasses. Well, when you commentate and you can look out the window, I don't need them. And I think, do you think I look worse with them on? Dr. Evil.
No, you look perfect.
Dr. Evil, or a bit of Mad Austin Powers, and then you haven't got the glasses on, and you go,
wow.
Killers!
Wow,
killers.
just even that was a killer look.
It's the pirate.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. While with all the liveliest moments in your commentary, there must be some oops moment as well, that you didn't mean that or something like that. You ever face that feeling?
Oops moments. I mean, sometimes you can, or you let something out that you shouldn't have because it's been given to you by the stats guy, or sometimes you're supposed to be off air. And see, that's the beauty of 2020 or T10 cricket. You can be a little bit more loose, a bit more wild, and a bit more crazy, because you're letting something out that perhaps possibly you didn't, or they're not quite ready, and you go, let's go sideline, let's catch up with Zany. Zany, are you there, you darling? God, I'm missing you, I love you, girl. And they go, oh, we can't say that. Danny Morison shouldn't love her. She's married. And, but that's just the way, in terms, us Westerners are a little bit, if you like, a little bit pagal, and we get a bit carried away and say so, and then people can misinterpret that and go, lovey, where are you, darling? And they're like, oh,
okay.
Talking like that. He can't talk to that woman. She's married. You should. But that's just our vernacular. That's just our style of delivery, and that's a little bit, and that comes back to a little bit of our culture, right? Which is probably a little bit too relaxed, you could argue.
Okay. Danny, there's another question, and that's quite funny. And Sherry Mughal is asking you, in lockdown, you still shave your head?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm lucky. This is, look, it's quite long for me. It's a little spiky now, but the great thing is I travel with mine, and it's just so easy to and do that.
Okay.
Beautiful. And so easy, and like once a week. That's what it is. Yeah, it's about once a week.
Okay, perfect. Okay, tell us. Okay, Faisal Khogar is asking you, hey Danny, boy, fast here, bro. How is your Punjabi language skills? People want to know your Punjabi language skills.
Oh, and I can't. But a lot of it's only swearing. I can't, and you can't be doing that all the time. Well, see, for a lot of us, it was always about, if you like, in the subcontinent, and particularly India, Pakistan, was about for taxi drivers, and certainly you see a lot of taxi drivers in Dubai and Sharjah who are from Peshawar, and it was all and you're talking about, so you're getting in a car and you're late, so you'd always be going, listen, brother, jaldi, and then if he's a lunatic, and he's driving like a maniac, and you've got to get him to slow down. It's always Ramsey, please, and then you'd be going koi batne, please. Okay, just slow down, because it was always about being, frightened by taxi drivers driving like maniacs, and that was really. Otherwise, then you'd be swearing, you'd be. And they quite like that because, just with us brothers and silly men.
Yeah.
But with taxi drivers, you couldn't. It'd be some guy getting in the way, and you'd be swearing and,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Urdu.
Urdu. Okay. Which word did you observe Pakistani people pronounce or use on their daily basis? Which was specific word? Any observation of yours?
Of any word?
Yeah. Which is so you or something that is pronounced frequently by your colleagues or Pakistani people?
To me, it was always Pagal.
Pagal. Oh.
And who
told you that? Who told you that, Pagal?
Various. Some in Pakistan, some producers in India, and certainly Waka. Waka's always going, Danny Pagal. And nothing's changed from your playing days. You're still mad from your playing days to now.
So Pagal is the word you. Okay, can you pronounce? There is a comment for you. People are asking, can you pronounce "Hor koi sade like"?
Hor koi sade like. And what does that mean?
Hamare anything you want more from us or something like that, or this is a Punjabi line. Yeah.
Yes, and they're wanting more from me.
Yeah.
More stories.
If we can serve you more, we can serve you more. That's what people meant.
I know, and isn't it funny? Like globally, it's so frustrating because you've finally got the Pakistan Super League back on Pakistan soil, and then coronavirus comes along in the biggest year in a way because it's 2020. Here we are in the year 2020, and the game is 2020. It was perfect. It was lines I had to divulge more. The World T20 is on at the end of the year. Well, maybe not now. So there was so much happening in 2020 with T20 cricket. It's a shame and very frustrating, I think, for Pakistan fans not to finish it. You had all that build up, and it was very exciting. Really, really good cricket. The best cricket because of the UAE. You don't get the crowds. The pitches, the cricket pitches have been very tired when you play. It's the end of the season there in the UAE. And then you had these beautiful cricket pitches in Multan and up north the ball was coming on, and in Karachi was good. Lahore the pitches slid on. They were very good, and some very good cricket played. So it was so frustrating that you couldn't have the finals week and get it done. But hey, can't be up to it. Got to be grateful, inshallah, that most of it was played. Inshallah, most of it was played. 90% of it.
Yeah. Oh. Inshallah. There is another comment, and any few words for Fakhri Alam Imtiaz has asked you, Danny. Any few words for Fakhri Alam?
Fakhri Alam Pagal. He is Pagal too. He's got a lot of energy, and so I think it's great that Fakhri Alam comes along and sideline. He goes to sideline, does some interviews.
Yeah.
Because of his entertainment background, singing and a bit of acting, and has lots of feathers to his cap. Lots of skill set.
Yeah.
I think that's very good for the Pakistan Super League to go down to him for his energy, and he's short, punch sharp, boom, boom, and he knows and he understands. Got to be short, fast, boom, and back to you guys upstairs. So he's good. He's a good pro.
So a word for Fakhri Alam is
Pagal.
Okay, that's what we wanted to ask you. Shahid Rahman is asking you, Danny, what you say about Pakistani biryani?
Oh,
so you loved it?
Yeah, I do. As I said before, I think you can of course have chicken biryani, but I really enjoy the mutton. I love mutton or lamb biryani. I just, as I said earlier, the way you procure your meat, the slow, long cooking of the red meat.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay. Bahut Okay, so we can see that how people love you, why people love you so much in Pakistan. So, Danny, there is a small kind of activity for you. We have few clips of your career and overall. We'll be playing those clips for you, and you have to do commentary on them.
Oh,
Can
I
you do
have
that
to.
for us?
Yeah,
Yeah, you have
absolutely.
to do.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. We'll be playing few clips. Let's see the first clip, and after
Okay.
that, you have to. Okay, let's start.
Oh, the baseball furies. Here we go. Six will do it. Let's get smoking, folks. Winding up now. I remember this so well. It was the MCG back in '93. Craig McDermott steaming in now. Boom! Oh, useless Morisson. Should have hit it for six. It was a low full toss. And in the end, that silly little hobbit from New Zealand could only muster 2 runs, and Australia take it out quite comfortably and win by 4.
Wow, wow. There's another clip we want to show, and we want you to comment on that. So, another clip for you, Danny, and
Yes.
that will be. Uh, can you play that? Okay, wait
And
for
my
the
hair's
team.
getting in the way
Yes.
too.
Yeah, that's kind of
Oh,
cool.
yes, yes, Hale was at the other end. Talk about a bit of. I've got a bit of mutton biryani on my hands. It looks like Morrison's been eating too much biryani at lunchtime, and the ball simply slipped out. Unbelievable. Here is Hale. He's getting dizzy looking for the ball. Where do I hit it? Oh, Danny, I can't be bothered. They're loving it in the stands. And in the end, Hale says, get stuffed. I've had too much biryani as well. Get back in bowl.
Too much biryani in that. We
Oh,
can imagine you love biryani so much. So another clip for you. So we're gonna play that clip as well, and you'll do commentary on it. And meanwhile, we are in conversation with Danny Morison. People are commenting and asking you a few questions as well. We'll play those questions as well. But let's see the last clip we have, and here it is.
Oh, welcome back to this is Warner Park here in St Kitts. I tell you what, let's get naked. And Morrison's out of control. It's so hot here. He's stripped off. And where's my little brother? There he is. Get back. Get back, you bald fiend, to the commentary box.
Wow, wow. Okay, over to you, commentary box. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Jenny, tell us about your memorable moment in your playing career. The way you played, any memorable moment you have with your colleagues or teammates. Any memorable of.
I probably like a lot of guys, and I was talking with Dennis the Menace on an
Yeah,
Instagram
yeah,
interview like this last week. And it's always hard to go past your test debut, when you play your first test match. And
yeah,
ironically, it was here in Brisbane, and I now have moved to Australia. What was that? Late in 2006, and
yeah,
I lived near Brisbane, and that's where I made my test debut. So it was very, very exciting to play alongside the great Richard Hadley. It'd be like for Wasim Akram and Waka playing alongside the great Imran Khan, to get that time of your life as a youngster to suddenly go from seeing your hero as a schoolboy, and
yeah,
these heroes lasted long enough that you became old enough as a 21-year-old to play alongside the great Richard Hadley, who had been a
hmm,
schoolboy hero, and I've gone to watch him playing
hmm,
Test cricket only sort of 5 or 6 years before at Eden
yeah,
Park, where I grew up in Auckland. And then here you were crossing the border from fantasy land, if you like, to reality of being able to play alongside one of your great heroes, and Martin Crowe and John Bracewell and Ian Smith and Ewan Chatfield and that very good side of
yeah,
the 1980s.
yeah.
To suddenly play alongside them was a real buzz for me. Really special time.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Your favorite cricketer till now? We want to know.
My favorite, well, one of my idols, and certainly that sort of inspired me when I was a youngster watching, and what ignited me to play was the great Dennis Lillee. And Dennis, just that big showman and that big moustache and the hair
Yeah,
flowing. We go to the same barber now, of course. Dennis is 70. But,
yeah,
watching the great Dennis Lillee, And even, you know, I went along, and one of my first test matches, I was telling Dennis the Menace this last week as well, is that one of the early test matches I ever went to was 1979, and the great Imran Khan was touring with Pakistan in 1979 in New Zealand, and I went there as a teenager. I think I was 13. And here you go, from 1979, 10 years later, in 1989, Imran was back captaining Pakistan, and I was playing against him. How freaky is that? 10 years on, I was 23 in 1989 and playing against the great Imran Khan. It was just you kept sort of pinching yourself to go, is this real? Is this really happening?
That's right. That's cool. We have a few more comments, and that's for sports coverage. Zainab or Erin?
Oh,
Who's
Zainab.
your favorite?
No brainer. No, just too easy. You're beautiful,
Oh, yeah?
Zainab. And good. I was very pleased. And she's got married. She got married, I think, was it September, October last year. So, I was very pleased for Zainab. And she does a great job, you know. And it's just lovely to see young journalists, young presenters come in and really have a passion for the game. Because let's be honest, it's not easy for women to come into the men's game and have to deliver and either commentate or Zainab hosting in the studio, whatever, and knowing the game well. You see, so good on. I'm very pleased for Zainab.
She's best where I do. Another comment for you, and people asking about the Sadesan. If PSL and IPL are happening at the same time, and you have to choose one, which one you will choose, Danny? That's a tough question for you.
Yeah, look, I'd have to. Look, I'm wearing a t-shirt with a cross. Nothing to do with England. Nothing to do with Christianity. If you ask Danny, what are you? You say, are you Muslim? Are you Buddha? I'm Sufi. Sufi? So my mother's a Sufi. Yeah. So Sufi. So, but me, never been really hung up by it. So, you know, and don't hold that against me. Pakistan, love the game. Don't go to church. No praying. Just don't. My prayer, my life really is about living each day and being grateful about having your health, and making people happy through cricket, having fun. So I would have to see the shirt. I'd have to split myself in half or in quarters, and then would you half of me at the PSL and half of me in Pakistan doing that, and then the other half in India with the IPL. Tough, eh?
Okay.
You can't answer it. I'll be sitting on the fence.
Okay. Tell us about your favorite Pakistani player.
My current favourite player?
Yeah. Pakistani player.
Yeah, look, hard to split. Let's go. I'll tell you what. I'll go for two. So one's a bowler and one's a batsman. So
perfect.
The number one batsman in the world for T20 is Azam. And I think it goes without saying. Beautiful artistry, smooth, beautiful wrist work. So I love watching Bubba play. And I've been fortunate enough for doing a lot of cricket in the UAE for 10 years to see his development in the last few years come through. And then, of course, young Shaheen Afridi, the left arm quick. Again, I was in New Zealand January 2 years ago, that under-19 World Cup in New Zealand, and Shaheen was playing at that. So, again, good to see him developing into this wonderful talent. And he's only really at the start of his journey. And he's very exciting. So both those players will be around for Pakistan for a long time.
Lovely. We have another video for you, Danny, and that's for his bowling. And we want to see that video. And after that, we'll discuss. Or maybe you can do some commentary for us. Let's see what's the video is all about. Can we have the video?
More commentary.
Yeah. People love the video. Okay.
That was a lovely little swinger. Lovely Yorker. Watch the Yorker. Just a full of not quite a Yorker, but almost. and it just did enough. And my dear son, he's batting like me. Played all over it. Useless.
Wow. So we have not out also take the 15 degrees.
Oh, from
Bazir Khan comments. Bazir Khan comments. You are still with contact with all these players. What kind of chat you guys have?
Oh, Bazir's lovely.
Most of the time.
If Baz is listening online, it'd be great to say, love you to pieces, Baz. Because Bazir, as you say, and again, fortunate enough to work with him as he started doing some commentary like back in 2014, and watched Buzz develop and get more, like we all do, get more confident the more we do anything. And so, and Buzz, and it was lovely to see his parents, because of that test match in Pindi with Sri Lanka there in December last year. So it was lovely. Went up there and he invited us round for dinner and could meet his little baby son, his little boy. So he's just a year old now. So it was lovely to go around and see the family. And Baz is so cheeky. He's got a very dry sense of humour. And he's great because he keeps people honest, and he doesn't suffer fools. But he also, life's too short. You can't get hung up, and guys get very serious and worried about their own history or egos. And for a lot of us, life's moved on. You played then, move on. And yes, it was a great time of your life, but you've got to talk about the guys that are current. They're the ones that are selling it to the fans, because at the end of the day, Mr. Sane, it's about the fan base. And without the fans, you haven't got a sport. So, it's about embracing your fans and loving the game now in the 21st century. Yes, they were great guys, and I love the two W's coming on, or Javed Mianet or Imran Khan doing the thing, or Ramis. But it's about, you just say, you've got to now adhere and see more of the dynamicism of the modern game, which has changed so much. You can't compare really, guys. I mean, a couple of guys you can, but the game has changed. The white ball game particularly has changed because of T20. Massive.
Oh, okay, perfect. We have another question for you, Danny. Your memory
the heartbreak in
92 World Cup semi-final heartbreak. Tell us about that. We want to know.
Again, when I think back to that, we were quite young that side. We're known as the Young Guns. It was just a promotional thing. And Martin Crowe had taken over the captaincy about 18 months before that. We came to Pakistan. Richard Hadley and all those guys, for cricket lovers who'll know all about this because of the internet, you can just dive in and unearth that history very quickly. Hadley and Jeff Crowe and Bracewell and Snedden and all those guys retired in England, and that was September, October 1990. We lost 3-0 in the test matches in Punch, 5-0 in the one day. So we lost every game. And we got run over by the two W's, and that very good side. So then it came to that 92 World Cup, and we'd won 7 games on the trot. So you could say at some point, and I know Pakistan fans will love this, because you look at the bubble in tournament play, you win all these games, and then you win all these games up to right at the end, and all of a sudden your bubble bursts at the wrong time. And everyone goes on about tournament play at the right time, peaking at the right time, whether it's the Olympics, the Soccer World Cup, the FIFA World Cup, or, the Olympic swimming competitions, anything spread over time. So you look at India. India had that great side at the World Cup last year, and that top 3 beautiful Indian players, with Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli and co, they all got out cheaply. And so they almost got there, but they lost to New Zealand and Manchester over, rain fit game. But that happened to us in Pakistan. Was one of had that T-shirt on, didn't he, Imran? You play like corner tigers. So he had this wonderful tiger T-shirt on that he was wearing underneath his playing shirt. So they had to play like cornered tigers, as he was saying. And they beat us in that last preliminary game. And then we had the semi-final, which turned out to be Pakistan again. And look at it, you think about all those things, and people go, all the planets aligned, gods were smiling, fate that was meant to be. And so I think in the greater picture, I think it was great for us to have had that winning run and do really well for a side that were, in transition, had a lot of heartbreak from guys retiring. Other guys couldn't do as well as they wanted to, got dropped, ruddy. But I look back on that with fondness. Yes, we lost to Pakistan. We'd love to have gone to the final in Melbourne. But again, you can't wish your life away. And I just think, man, what a great side that Pakistan's. And in the end, Pakistan won. So the only side New Zealand lost in the 92 World Cup was to Pakistan twice. The last preliminary game and, of course, the crucial semi-final. So I think everyone, sounds terrible, in England who invented the game, and everyone loves to crucify England and smash them, the old enemy and all their bureaucracy and religion. So I think everyone was barracking for Pakistan to win that in '92. And as it turned out, there were bigger things. And I'd like on your show, there were bigger things at stake because Imran Khan was about doing the cancer hospital, cancer research. There was more to it. I think it was a bigger picture at play for Pakistan. Disappointed? Sure, it's disappointing. You want to win. You want to do well, and you want to, could have gone to a World Cup final. But as it turned out, we got flown over to Melbourne, and my father used to live in Melbourne then, so we all went out to a restaurant. Didn't even go to the final. Went to a restaurant in Melbourne Central and got on the gas. It was great.
Okay. There is another question for you from Abdullah, and he wants to ask Danny, should 2020 World Cup be scrapped?
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because you just don't know, because that's set to start in October and finish in early-ish November here in Australia. Tough one to know. I mean, and you think about your big cousins, your beautiful neighbours, the land of a billion and some, and that tournament, my God, they reckon to run it and have it organised, it costs $6 billion US. To run that tournament is huge, massive. Yeah. It's the biggest tournament, as we know, on the planet for T20. I know whether the Pakistanis love that or hate that. That's just how it is. That's just, you can't get around that. And to run, I mean, that's even bigger than the World Cup. To run that tournament, it's massive. 8 teams charging around India, the fan base, the numbers, television rights, everything. So you look at the World T20 and then they're having it in Australia. Are they going to postpone that? Can they shift it? You could probably shift it to next year. Of course you can.
Yeah.
Or, you hear all the whispers about what's going to happen with the IPL. Does the IPL try and get played in the calendar year of 2020? As we've mentioned, Ms. Hussain, 2020, what a great year for T20.
Yeah.
It's just a great synergy.
We just talked about it. Yeah.
But, again, what can you do? I mean, Corona-19 is here, and we've got a challenge every day of where is it going? How long is it lasting? When can borders really be opened up? No one really knows. So you can't really answer that question. It'd be very sad if it doesn't happen in October, because it's set down for then. And what's that? I think middle of October through to about November the 8th. So technically you could still say it's an outside chance, but you just don't know how long this is going to go on for.
Okay. So we have few pictures of yours, Danny, and we want to know about those pictures. And Mohammed Hamza is saying, Danny, you are looking so handsome like a young boy. What is the secret?
Well, it's hair. What a difference hair makes, isn't it? Look at yours. I'm so jealous. It's just getting in the way. I'll be just combing it out.
Yeah, I have long hair. Yeah, I have long hair.
And my wife said to this, laughing. You look at it and you go, "No, why said, isn't it cool?" She goes, and I'm in the mirror going,
it is. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad.
But see, then that's wonderful.
Look at the picture.
Because I got into so much trouble. Putting that. But
why?
Well, because I dressed up and they said, Danny, that's not very culturally sensitive. But I said, look, I'm doing this for the local television who's putting on the IPL, and they said that was fine. Let's have some fun. And I had to go and do the coin toss, which then went to the world feed and went around the world, rather than just in India or the subcontinent. But look, we're dressing up. I was with Pallavi, and Pallavi, who's an actress, as you know, we're doing sideline stuff and chatting and having fun up in Mohali. And, it's the northern zone, so a lot of Sikh. And we had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And I tell you, it was getting cold up there for my haircut, so it was great putting on a turban and a beard. Loved it.
Okay, there is another picture of yours. Wow.
Oh, sexy, eh? What a sexy beast.
I guess you like mustache, something like that. Yeah.
Gilly. Yeah, lovely. But here you see. Look at the difference.
20-year challenge.
That's right. That was taken on the left about, I think that was the beach cricket about 2007 or 8. And then, of course, the next one, that must be like about 2014 on the right. Say 7 years, only about 6 or 7 years later. So the hair, it started to go. See, that if you look in the back there was a little thumbprint.
Yeah, we can see that.
So it started there, and then it got bigger. It got a lot bigger. And you know why that got bigger? That was the wife
What?
like this. They get their heel in and just go like this. Danny, take that, boy. And then just kept smashing my hair off. So wives, men out there, that's what happens with wives. They stress you out and you pull all your hair out.
No, not really. Not
No,
really.
teasing.
Yeah, we have another comment for you, Ali from Islamabad. Biggest fan of your voice, Danny, especially when you say chaka. I hope you're enjoying giving interview to Armala. So, are you enjoying the interview?
Oh, lovely. Yeah, it's great. And that's what I say. This downtime is beautiful to talk to you guys. And then I've got to see tomorrow night. What's the time now? So about this time it'll start for me. We're doing an old Caribbean commentary. So we're going to get a game sent to us that we're going to be live like this. And there's going to be Ian Bishop and Samuel Badry and a few others to commentate over pictures of an old Caribbean Premier game. Yeah, so they're doing that every Tuesday night. So we're doing that. And then I've done that one with Fakrialam a couple of weeks ago here on Insta. Dennis the Menace last week. And Miss Hussain, I'm with you tonight.
Okay.
Now,
good.
Are you in Lahore or Karachi?
Yeah, I'm in Lahore.
You're in
Lahore.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Lahore. So there's another question. Where is your lucky cap, Danny? Shahid Rahman is asking you.
There it is. It's called a skull cap. Do you like it?
Okay, that's the like you. Okay, so
cap. What cap? Another cap. What about a different hat?
Yeah,
what about,
just try that as well.
I'll show you. No, look, come on. See, this is my wife in the garage. You know, all my wife's wonderful aromatherapy products. You see?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'll come in here. Look, so I'll pop in through here and then spin you around. Look, get the full backwards walk on. Look. There's the hat stand.
Looks.
And look.
Let's try your lucky one. Which one you like?
Well, I don't know. I got this in the Caribbean because, as you know, when it's very sunny, and that haircut, see that haircut, you've got to cover up with that. So I've got one of those fedoras, and then these are just other caps I got from the Caribbean. And then actually I tell you what, my nephew was so sweet. He's got one. He loves the Aussie. See, you'll see guys like Matty Hayden, and they wear these. These are called a kubra. And what they are is they're like the big on the farm.
Yeah,
like,
that's
cowboy
the swag one.
But they're very good for the sun, for us bald gurus who've got no hair, and they work. So there's the hat stand. We'll throw that on. What about one of the wife's sun hats? Do you want to see that? What do you think about this? Do you think my wife? Look, see, here's one of her hats. Here's one of her beach hats.
That's like more cool.
I think that's brilliant.
That's so cool, Danny. You should try this one. Yeah,
that's the best one. Cool. Do you reckon?
Yeah, log this one for you.
Out of control. So there you go. Those are all my different lucky hats.
Okay, perfect. Any message for your fans in Urdu? We want to have a message from you for your Pakistani fans in Urdu. Something like pagal or something you want to say. We are okay with that, but still, you have to give your message.
I'll be coming back. One of my favourite lines with Baz Khan, he's always going, he leans down and goes, Danny, you are pagal. And I go, Koi baat nahi. Which I love in Australia because Australians use that line a lot. No worries. It's cool. No worries. So I just find that beautiful. Koi baat
nahi. So that's the message for your fans. Koi baat nahi.
And bahut acha.
Thank you so much, Danny.
Armala, you're very good. Are you coming?
Thank you.
Are you taking Zainab's job?
No, not at all.
Why not? Oh, you'd be great.
Thank you for the compliment. I loved it. It was lovely talking to you. You are such a fun person to talk with, Danny. And stay safe. Thank you so much for coming and give us your time. It was lovely talking to you. Take good care of yourself and see you soon. Allah Hafiz.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So guys, it was such a fun conversation with Danny Morison. I hope you liked it. We got a lot of comments from you people and questions as well. So, I hope you like the show. And there are few questions जो हमने कल announce किए थे. हम उसका best question का बता देते हैं कि episode 15 का best question हमसे पूछा था उस्मान अशरफ ने. थैंक यू सो मच उस्मान अशरफ, आपको बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो, आपने बेस्ट क्वेश्चन. उसके साथ साथ जी और कल के विनर है एपिसोड के, वो है जुल्करनैन हैदर. इन्होंने हारिस रऊफ और दिलबर हुसैन के फेवरेट प्लेयर को गेस किया था. तो congratulations Zulkarnain Haider. It's Danny Morison's favorite Pakistani dish, and which is Danny's favorite city in Pakistan? You guys have to answer it, and we will be announcing the winner tomorrow. And I hope you like the show. Give us the feedback. And tomorrow's guest is Usman Mir and Saif. So please stay tuned. We'll be there by 5:30 in the evening. And stay tuned to Sports Fever 360. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.